All right, guys. Our next guest is a former kickboxer and a current UFC strawweight. She will be taking on Paige VanZant on April 18, 2015 at UFC on Fox 15. You know her from her victor and The Ultimate Fighter. Ladies and gentlemen, she's none other than Felice, Little Bulldog Herrig. Welcome to Submission Radio. How are you, Felice?
Hello. I'm good. I'm done with training for the day, so that always makes me happy.
Well, all right, awesome. Let's tell us about that. How was training? How's your training session, and how's the training going for Paige?
Training today, Fridays is always really intense. I go in the morning. I have wrestling. Then right after wrestling, I do pad work with my coach Jeff Curran, and then a couple hours later, I go back in and I do strength and conditioning with my strength and conditioning coach. So I'm always I usually have like 2 to 3 training sessions a day. So, but I've been in camps. I don't really like the term camp because I'm the kind of person who always likes to evolve and get better, and I've been training all year round. I always train all year round. After my last fight, I fought on the Ultimate Fighter finale, December 12th, and I was right back in the gym like a week later. I give myself that cheat week to do what I call get fat and just binge and eat. But I was really motivated after the fight. I didn't have any injuries or anything. So, I knew that I wanted to be right back in the cage again soon. So I just got right back to the gym and didn't really miss a beat. And I've been, really consistent, like I said, with my training, just always evolving, always getting better. And it's not necessarily about, the opponent you're fighting. You just always kind of have to be ready for everything or anything. So that's why it's important to just kind of train and always keep getting better at all elements of MMA.
Couldn't agree with you more, Felice. And just on that comment, you mentioned that after the fights you like to get, fat, inverted commas. I think we see you walking around pretty much shredded all the time. I imagine you getting fat will be, from 9% body fat to 10% body fat. What's a typical, get fat meal for Felice Herrig? What do you binge on?
Well, pretty much anything and everything I can. I don't really have any, I don't deny myself of anything. Chicago, I'm from Chicago, Illinois.
Deep pan pizza, right?
Yes, that's my favorite. And we make the best deep dish pizza. It's amazing. So that's usually my go-to meal, but I'm always traveling, and when I travel for a fight, I don't know, obviously I don't have the luxury to go get a deep dish pizza right after my fight. So I'll usually just binge on sweets, like cookies, cakes, anything I can stuff in my mouth, and I have no, I don't stop. I don't know when to stop. I really binge. I'm all out. I'm all or nothing. The last time I had my cheat week, I thought I was fat, but you gotta understand, it's, I don't like to say fat, because then all these girls and, people who are needing to lose weight are oh, she thinks she's fat. Oh, well. I don't think I'm fat. I just, when you just were in the best shape of your life and stepped on a scale and you're all shredded, and then you eat, and then your six-pack goes away, and you get all puffy. I don't know if because you're in Australia, I don't know if you're familiar with the movie The Goonies.
Yeah.
But I thought I was really fat, and I did a video of the truffle shuffle, and I lifted up my belly and got all into it, and I posted it, feeling like I was really fat, and I don't know if people are just being nice to me, but all these guys are oh, looking good, looking sexy. I'm no, this is supposed to be a sexy video. It's supposed to be a gross, disgusting video. I'm showing you how fat I am. But apparently that didn't come across too well.
Well, I wish me and Casper had fans like that. Now, while we're on the subject of eating, on March 16th, he tweeted out, "I hate eating in front of people because I'm afraid they might ask me to share." Does this happen often to you, Felice? And are we just talking about strangers approaching you here?
No, strangers don't ask me.
Okay, just double checking.
I hate sharing my food. It's one of those things. I'll buy, let's say I order a dessert at a restaurant. if you wanted your own dessert, you better get your own dessert because I'm not sharing. I'll buy you your own dessert before letting you have like a bite of my food. I want to eat everything on my plate. It's like, it's mine.
Yeah.
No, and when you're cutting weight, like every calorie counts. Like everything is like strictly like methodically planned out. And like I have like these organic chocolate bars that are made like in Woodstock, Illinois, that kind of local. And I eat one a day, and that's my cheat. And last week I was at my brother's, and my sister-in-law was like, "Oh, that smells really good. Can I have a bite?" I'm like, "No, you cannot." And it's like, I'm so mean, but I want it all.
People don't know the backstory for what you go through just to get that one chocolate bar, so we feel you, Felice. You know, before we get to your fight, last weekend, your close friend Carla Esparza, she had a difficult outing against Joanna, losing her title. What did you think of the fight? You know, it must have been tough to watch for you.
Yeah, you know, I just think that Carla, like, I know after she fought, like, people don't understand how much we went through on, you know, The Ultimate Fighter. So we had to train. We were on the shelf. We had to, like, wait, like, 7 or 8 months. Like, we couldn't fight. Then we were in the house. You know, we had to fight. Like, Carla fought 3 times on the show. That was a period of 6 weeks. Then come home, do all the media for the show. Then get right back into camp for a 5-round title fight. And then she didn't really even have time to enjoy, like, being the champion. It was just like she got the call that she's got to fight again and be right back into camp. And, you know, I just think that she didn't – I mean, I know, like, she didn't really want to be in there. And I'm not saying that things would or wouldn't have gone differently. I mean, Joanna she showed she had some skill, and I've always respected her, you know, her striking, but her takedown defense looks great. She just, you know, you can't take anything away from Joanna. Joanna did great out there. I wouldn't say it was the best Carla Esparza I've ever seen, but I think it's just because, you know, she wasn't really motivated. But again, I can't speak for her. That's just what I gather from talking to her. And, you know, obviously I talked to her, you know, before the fight. I talked to her after the fight. But it was sad to see too, just because, you know, she really didn't really get to enjoy being the champion. She didn't have any downtime at all. It was just like, boom, you won the belt. Okay, boom, you're fighting again to defend your belt. You know, and a 5-round title fight is stressful because you're always fighting the number 1 contender. You know, so it's not like you really have anywhere to not be 100% dedicated to your training camp.
Absolutely. And, you know, me and Casper discussed it on the show last week. We put it down to an off night for Carla. She really didn't quite seem herself. However, some people have been a little down on Carla after her performance. Most notably, Dominic Cruz. We love him, but he mentioned that he thinks Carla needs become more mentally tough. Now, what did you think about those comments and people being a bit down on her now?
No, I honestly, I don't see that at all. Carla is actually very mentally strong. Just to do what she did on the show, I think shows and proves that she's mentally tough. And, you know, not everybody knows how to, like, when you go from being a person who's just fighting on, you know, local shows, like, getting a little bit of attention here and there, you know, but all of a sudden getting thrown into where you're on this huge stage for everybody to judge you and critique you, and you have to be politically correct with anything, and you can't have an opinion, and everything you say or do is held under a microscope. And actually, like, I think if anybody needs to be more mentally tough, it would be me. I wouldn't think it would, you know, be Carla. Carla is the furthest from that. I think she's one of the strongest people that I know. And again, that just goes to show, you know, how people can be ignorant. Like, you can't really make comments like that when you don't really know a person. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really see why that statement was made.
Yeah, well, you know, you're one of the most high-profile fighters in the division. You know, with the win over Paige, it's very likely that we may see you fight Joanna. What do you think of your advantages over Joanna with your striking background? You know, what would they be, and how would the fight play out?
You know, I definitely, again, I really respect Joanna's striking, but I think stylistically, I probably would have been a better matchup, you know, against Joanna than somebody like Carla, who's, you know, a wrestler who, you know, she she can't get somebody down, she doesn't, you know, necessarily have an answer for Joanna. I mean, it's hard to say. I'm not like the strategy person. I leave that up to my coaches. And I really haven't seen. Joanna is just one of the, you know, before Invicta flying out all these girls from overseas, like a lot of us women haven't really had the chance to study a lot of, you know, the opponents in the division. And a lot of girls with the UFC adding the strawweight division, a lot of girls are coming down. So I think it's going to take a while for the division to really develop, to actually know somebody's strengths and somebody's weaknesses, and to kind of figure out where you're going to fight them. I mean, people always, you know, it's like a striker against a striker, and people are always like, oh, they're gonna have the striking war, but it doesn't always play, and it doesn't always work out that way, because sometimes you respect somebody striking too much, and it just becomes a boring ass fight, because everybody's afraid to engage, you know. But I don't know. I don't really think that. I know a lot of people are talking about, you know, oh, if you know, I beat Paige, then I might be in line for, you know, a title shot. But I don't really think that's the case. I think that there's a lot of girls. You know, I'm ranked number 8 right now, and I think there's a lot of, you know, other girls I have to get through first to even be at that point right now. And for me, I don't focus on that. I just focus on the fight in front of me. You know, one step at a time, one fight at a time, one training session at a time. That's really all you can do.
Absolutely right. You mentioned focusing on the fight right in front of you. April 18th, you have a highly anticipated fight with Paige VanZant. Paige has had a lot of fans' attention since joining the UFC. She signed a Reebok deal. In your opinion, you know, is all this hype warranted?
You know, I think people just don't really know. They don't get it. You know, they see Paige coming out and having one good fight, but it wasn't against any one of the girls in the house, and all the girls in the house were the top 16 in the world. You know, she fought another girl who was kind of at her level, so it made it look like, oh, wow, like such a great fight. But I don't really, I don't care if Paige is getting attention. I think everybody has to use, you know, market themselves the way they want to market themselves, you know, do what they have to do, you know, draw attention to themselves, get opportunities. But I don't think that, I think that people are soon going to see the level difference. And I think that, you know, everybody got to see, like, the girls, you know, in the Ultimate Fighter, they got to see everybody get weeded out. But all people have seen of Paige is this one fight, and they think, like, oh, she's so good, she's so great. And I'm not taking anything away from her. She's a, you know, good little fighter, but I think that when I fight Paige, people are going to see a difference in levels. I don't think that this is actually an evenly matched up fight at all.
Well, tell us about some of the strengths that you see yourself having over Paige. And I will mention, Paige mentioned in an interview recently that she thinks you're predictable. You know, what do you see as some of your advantages over her in this fight?
I think the only thing predictable about me is that I can beat her anywhere the fight goes. I know I'm a better striker than her. I know I'm a better grappler than her. I know I'm better on the ground than her. I know I'm physically stronger than her. I know I have more experience than her. I don't really think that everybody has a puncher's chance, but I definitely wouldn't bet against me in this fight. And that's just, you know, I think she's actually so new and so green to the sport that she really doesn't get it. She doesn't realize that there is a difference in, you know, in, like, what she's got, like 5-6 fights. You know, I've been fighting for 12, 13 years now, between kickboxing, boxing, Muay Thai, MMA. I have over 50 fights. I was a world champion Muay Thai fighter. You know, there's nothing that Paige is going to do to me that I haven't seen before or felt before. I really don't believe she's better than me anywhere.
Absolutely. And just a final question on Paige. You know, just a couple of days back, her ex-coach put down some of his feelings about her, saying that she abandoned and betrayed their camp. I know that you're a very fair person and, you know, you love dealing with people. What are your thoughts on Paige on a personal level? dealing with her thus far going into this fight?
There is nothing with me and Paige on a personal level. We're going in there to fight and put on a show, and I don't know Paige as a person, and that's one thing that is a pet peeve of mine, where people judge based on perception or social media or rumors. I've been in her spot before, to where for a long time I've been that girl that everybody talks crap about or gets jealous of, because of opportunities that I've gotten, or makes up rumors, or wants to say all these negative things about me. So if I turn around and make things personal against her, then I'm a hypocrite. And I honestly, like, if she had problems with her old, with her coaches, like, that's for her and her coaches. I wasn't there. I don't know. I'm not Paige. I'm not her coach, and I can't be sitting here like passing judgment on her. And honestly, like, when it comes to a fight, it's not like, there's nothing personal. Like, I don't take anything. You can't take anything personal in a cage. It's not gonna affect the way I fight. It's not gonna affect that. It's a business. Just like when you go into the gym every day, you leave your baggage at home. When you go into work every day, you leave your baggage at home. Like, you're there. When I'm at the gym, I'm there to train. When you're at work, you're there to work. That when I'm in the cage, like, that's my work, and nothing else really matters.
Completely understand. Felice, we told the fans that you were coming on the show, and they sent in a whole bunch of fan questions, so we're just going to ask you a few of those, if that's okay. The first one is from Mark Zima. His question is, do you have any way to work into official UFC events any of your famous cosplay for the fans under the conditions of the new Reebok deal?
Well, my next fight outfit is the Reebok deal doesn't go into effect until July. So I do have a very special outfit theme planned for my next fight, weigh-ins, everything. And then I wasn't there, but my manager also manages Carlos Garza, so he was at the Reebok meeting, which I'm going to have to be at my next fight as well. And they said that they did specifically say that they realize that certain people have, their own style and image, and they would, depending on who it is, they might be willing to work with that and work around it. So I'm hoping that Reebok sees, like, what I bring to the table. My last fight was on The Ultimate Fighter, so I had to wear, on the show, I had to wear all the Ultimate Fighter clothes. On the finale, I had to wear all the Ultimate Fighter clothes. So a lot of the people who didn't follow my career before the UFC have only seen the UFC and haven't really gotten to see all my themes and all my cosplay. And I'm hoping that I can work out a deal with Reebok and try to incorporate some of my cosplay and some of my themes into my fight.
Well, that would be very exciting, a Reebok-themed cosplay. Last fan question, because we're running out of time. This one is from a user by the name of Bisexual MMA, believe it or not. He'd like to know if the UFC offered a 105 or a 225-pound division.
125.
125, sorry. That would be ridiculous. But I'd love to see you fight it. Would you prefer to fight him in one of those? So 105 and 125.
No, I actually think 115 is perfect for me. 110 might be like the ideal weight, but they don't have a weight class. I think I would have to cut off an arm to get to 105. I'm already like really lean walking around, and I think I look big. People always think I'm a lot bigger than I am because I have a lot of muscle, but I'm not. Like, on the show, like on The Ultimate Fighter, I was walking around like 122, 123, and like the best physical shape of my life. And Uriah Faber came in one day, and he was like, and it was like a couple of days before my fight, and he was like, whoa. I'm like, what? He's like, do you have a hard time cutting weight? I'm like, no. He's like, oh, you look really big. And I'm like, nah, I'm 122 right now. And like, he almost like didn't believe it. I think I look like I'm heavier than I am. So 125 is like, I usually walk around 125. The heaviest I get 127, 128. So definitely don't want to fight 125. And 105 would just be, everything would be all about the weight cut. So I wouldn't really want to do that either.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Felice, to finish off the interview, we've got something fun for you. We do it with all our guests. It's called the Submission Radio Tap Out Round. We basically throw a bunch of fun questions at you, and you answer with the first thing that comes to mind. Are you ready?
Oh, gosh. Yeah, I think.
All right. No, you're ready. Trust me. Your Twitter is a wealth of knowledge and lots of inspirational quotes. Could you take us into what was going through your mind when you came up with this classic line on March 12th? Here's the tweet. I pick my men like I pick my boogers. What does it all mean, Felice?
I was actually at strength and conditioning, and I actually had a runny nose. I just got over being sick, and I always am working with word puns and whatever, and I just threw that out there to one of the guys at the gym, and they're like, that's a tweet. I'm like, yeah, should I tweet it? So I really, most of like the random thoughts that come to my head are just like random thoughts, like on the spot.
Well,
it really wasn't that meaningful. It was just a random dumb joke.
There are people out there tattooing it on their arms now, Felice. You have to be careful what you tweet. Now, you Instagrammed recently. Needless to say, I don't think very many from the WMMA community will be cheering on Matt Brown this weekend. Let's go Big Rig. Do you think there's any chance the women's MMA community could forgive Matt Brown for his comments about women's MMA eventually?
Yeah, I think with anything, people are like, the next big news that hits, like, people forget all about it. Like, I heard he actually did an interview, like, after that, like, talking about how he respects women. I don't know, women's MMA. I don't know if that was because he got a lot of crap about posting that. But I think people are pretty forgiving. I mean, people all make mistakes. Like, I don't hate the guy. You know, I just thought that was something that was kind of like, Actually, the reason why I was more upset was because I noticed that Alienware was sponsoring him, and Alienware is like my main sponsor. And so I was like, Alienware shouldn't be supporting somebody who made a statement like this, you know. But I couldn't say that. So, like I said, I think that we're all human. We all make mistakes. Sometimes we say things that are taken out of context. Sometimes we're joking about things. Like, you never know. Like, I don't hate the guy. I don't hold a grudge against him. I didn't like his comments, but I don't really know, like, why he said it, like, what was the tone of the interview, you know, especially when it's a written article. You really never know, like, who's spinning what. Although his quotes were pretty, I want to see the two girls mud wrestle, like, naked or whatever. I don't know if they would quote him if he didn't say that.
Yeah, I was going to say, another big name in MMA, Fedor, recently said something negative about women's MMA as well. I don't know if you saw the comments, but he basically said that it's not really a sport for women and they should be doing sort of more attractive sports. I mean, everybody's a Fedor fan. What did you think when you heard that?
Well, I actually didn't hear that, but I also think that it might be, you know, like, some morals and values are stricter in certain countries, too, you know, so he might have even, like, I don't know how things are over there in Russia. He's Russian, right? I think he's Russian.
He is technically Ukrainian, but yeah, we'll say Russian, yeah.
Oh, all right. I will call him Russian. Like, or I don't know. Like, again, like, every country is so different. Like, look at it, you know, in what's the country where they have to wear, you know, the women, like, can't take that thing off their head.
The hijabs, yeah. You know what? I'm not too sure. I know it's in the Middle East, but I'm not gonna say it's this country, and then, you know, a lot of other people say, oh, it's not actually that country. So, but I know it's somewhere in the Middle East.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not like some people don't like watching women get hit. My uncle, for instance, he's not prejudiced against women's MMA. He loves me, he supports me, but he will not watch me fight. He does not like to watch me get hit. Some people just, it doesn't suit them well, you know? So I can't really, I want to give him the benefit of the doubt and say that it's just because he's a really good guy and he doesn't believe that women should, you know, be treated that way.
Yeah. I think we've said it on the show before that, you know, when MMA came in, it was a new thing and people were like, oh no, what is this human cockfighting? And everyone's coming around. I think same thing with women's MMA. People like are a little bit shocked, and then, you know, in a few years it'll be, you know, everybody will be jumping on the bandwagon, and we definitely hope they do. The next question, Felice, you have lots of awesome fans, but once in a while you post about strange fan messages or interactions. Give us your creepiest one thus far.
The creepiest one thus far just happened, and it's like story. I did an appearance in Pennsylvania, and this guy showed up at Dave & Buster's. He was in line waiting for an autograph. He comes in. He comes up to me. He whispers in my ear, "Can we go somewhere and talk?" I'm like, "No, I got to stay here and do the signing." He sits down on a chair for the next 3 hours, stares at me, doesn't order a drink, nothing. I get a letter in the mail, a piece of fan mail. Didn't know it was from him, with a Visa card saying, "My daughter, my beautiful daughter, I'm your long-lost father. I want to come out and see you. I don't have the finances. Can you put money on this prepaid card?"
Whoa.
And, like, he was serious, and I, like, posted that as a creepy message. Then a couple weeks later, I get another message with, like, a Buddhist Bible or something, or Muslim Bible, and, again, another letter saying, like, "I thought it was very rude of you to post that on your page. I still love you. You're my daughter, blah, blah, blah." And then I open up this card, and it's like the pictures fall out of, like, me and him at the event, and then just, like, a picture of, like, I think he wanted me to cut this picture up into, like, wallet. There was, like, 4 pictures on the one page. Like, he wanted me, they're, like, wallet size. He wanted me to, like, put one in my wallet, put one in a keychain, put one, like, in my locker. I don't know. It was kind of creepy. Oh, and then when I was at the Dave & Buster's, as soon as he saw me getting up to leave, he bolts for the front door. Like, he was going to barricade me or something. So the manager took me out the back door. It was just weird.
Wow.
It's weird.
I think I saw this guy in a movie once with Whitney Houston called Bodyguard. This is unbelievable. We're gonna have to get you. Yeah, we're gonna have to get you Kevin Costner or something to protect you and carry you around. It's unbelievable.
I actually start, like, I've had, like, and you know, who knows, like, sometimes, like, if people, I'm not saying this is true, but, you know, you always have to be aware. Like, I'm always very particular, eerie of people at the gym that are new, because I'm like, did you sign up just to be around me, and then you're going to follow me home? Like, and, like, you never know, like, especially with all the creepy messages I get, creepy fan mail, and I'm not talking bad about my fans. I love my fans. I get great support, positive letters, packages, whatever. But then every once in a while, there's this person where you're like, whoa, you're seriously psycho. I need to look out. I need to watch out for people like you. And I've had, like, stalker type stories even before I was a fighter. So,
the things
maybe I'll get a bodyguard. Taking applications.
The things you go through. See, we'd love to get some crazy stalker messages just to know we're loved. That would really brighten up our day.
Just when you take those bodyguard applications, you better be careful, because there'll be some creepy ones. The creepy people will figure out a way to become your bodyguard.
Hey, tell you what, maybe instead of posting creepy messages of the day now, maybe I'll send you a hey, attaboy message of the day every day.
Yeah.
You're so awesome. I love you.
Put a positive spin on it. Now, Felice, with this next question, you have to be honest with us, all right? Are you trying to bring the fanny pack back?
No, I don't care if it comes back. I like it for myself. It's great. I feel like I'm smuggling on an extra carry-on when I travel. It's the greatest thing. I'm like, oh, I got my ID, I got my wallet, I got all my money, I got my lip gloss and this one fanny pack, and I got my purse, and I got this suitcase. Boom. But I got it at Victoria's Secret, which is a very nice, Victoria's Secret Sports, which is a very nice high-end store. And it was nice and stretchy. And I thought, oh, this is a fashionable fanny pack. I didn't really realize that once you actually put stuff in it, it's really just a fanny pack. Because it gets all stretched out and whatnot. But it serves a purpose for events. And I'm one of those people who, I kind of create my own style anyways. So I'm not really, I wouldn't really say I'm fashionable. I don't go with the fashion trends. I just kind of do what, I wake up and I do what Felice wants to do.
Yeah, is there any chance Felice is gonna any chance Felice is gonna rollerblade down to the octagon in her next fight wearing a fanny pack with some of those old '80s sunglasses on?
You know what? If I did that, I would get injured on the way to the cage. I don't get injured. I don't get injured in like fights and training. I get injured doing stupid shit, like running into doors or like keeping my freezer top open and going into the fridge and then hitting my head on the top of the door and the freezer. Like, I do dumb stuff. I never get hurt doing anything that you would think I would get hurt doing. It's always the dumb stuff. I would be that person who rollerblades into the octagon and trips.
I was going to say, we saw that you tweeted, today I was asked how I feel about Anderson Silva getting popped for PEDs. It's kind of like when you find out your parents have sex. How disappointed were you when you find out?
Wait, when I found out my parents had sex?
Well, we don't really care about that. more.
Your parents had sex? What?
Ah, God, mind blown. No, how disappointed were you when you found out Anderson Silva got popped for PEDs?
I don't remember where I was. I think I probably saw it on Twitter or Instagram. Everybody finds out all the news now these days on. I actually don't remember. I have like this thing called like rapid brain cell loss where I think that fighting is catching up to me now. I can't remember like simple little things. But I remember like my like childhood friend's dog's name. Like I remember dumb trivial stuff like that. Like I don't
The important things, that's what matters.
The interview just took a serious turn. Felice, is this a recent thing because of fighting? Have you always had it?
I don't know. That's the thing. I honestly think
you don't remember.
No, I don't. And I wish I could remember. So now, because I don't remember, I don't know which it is. Or maybe it's because I'm getting older. I don't know. But you know what? The thing is, I've always been a brawler, especially when I fight. Like I fought kickboxing and boxing. I would take so many shots to the head and not care. I'd be like, "Oh, you hit me once. Okay, I'm going to come back 10 times." But I would stay in the pocket and I would let people hit me because honestly, like I didn't care. It didn't affect me. It didn't hurt me. And now I'm like, oh, is this catching up to me? Now I don't want to get hit so much. I'm like, damn. I feel I can feel my brain cells falling out every time I get hit now. Like,
yeah. You don't want to start sounding punchy, and God forbid you don't want to forget that you did this interview because we would be truly heartbroken. Finally, Felice, give us the official prediction. How are you beating Paige VanZant at UFC on Fox 15?
I really think I'm going to knock her out in round 1 or round 2.
All right, well, we can't.
Before you punch it, KO, I don't know, but I don't see the fight going all the way, and I definitely see it being stopped, whether it's by the ref or the doctor or I don't even know if her corn is allowed to throw in the towel anymore. But it's not going 15 minutes. I will tell you that.
Well, we're excited already. We can't wait to watch, guys. UFC on Fox 15, April 18th. It's a really, really stacked card, of course. Luca Rockhold and Machida in the main event. And you can follow Felice on Twitter at Felice Herrig. Make sure to stay tuned, guys. Felice, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you. It was actually one of my best interviews ever. Not because of me talking, but because you guys were fun.